So SafeLine4Birds is the project co-financed by the LIFE program of the European Commission. It started this year, 2023, and will last for 6 years. The objective is to reduce bird mortality along power lines. It focuses on 3 countries, France, Belgium, and Portugal. And we are 15 partners involved, including DSOs, TSOs, NGOs, and research institutes. And we are from France, Portugal, Belgium, Germany, and the USA. In the slides, you can see the logos of the consortium. So what are the objectives and actions of this project? The first objective is to reduce the collision risk for birds, and the actions are: first, to improve, search, and test new anti-collision devices, such as ACAS. So ACAS is an anti-collision device that will be tested for the first time in Europe, and it was developed by our partner EDM from the USA, and it uses shining UV light on power lines to make them more visible to birds in the dark. So this is the top picture that you can see on the slide. We'll also test new methods to deploy the devices, such as the use of drones, to be able to equip twice as many lines in a day, but also to reduce the risk for grid operator employees. We will extend the installation of existing anti-collision devices, such as the sparrows, the fireflies, or the spurs, and also put 15 to 20 kilometers of high-risk lines underground. As I said, it will eliminate the collision and eliminate completely the collision and electrocution risk for birds. And finally, we'll evaluate the performance of installed devices with the use of cameras, this to understand how the devices affect the bird fly behavior and to adapt the equipment accordingly. The second objective is to reduce the electrocution risk for birds. How are we going to do this? First, install insulating and deterring devices, such as the spikes that you can see on the top picture on the slide, but also install perches and platforms for the birds to perch safely. We'll modify the design on high-risk towers. As I mentioned in my previous presentation, replacing dangerous and poorly designed poles can drastically reduce bird mortality caused by electrocution. And finally, we will inventor, test, and install safest type of pylons. The third objective is to reduce the disturbance of birds on power lines. How are we going to do this? By implementing maintenance schedules in line with the breeding periods of the target species, and also limit helicopter disturbance that is sometimes used to place the deterrence device on the lines, for example, or for maintenance operations. And then we will limit the helicopter disturbance during breeding period when this is possible. Finally, the last objective is to improve and share knowledge with the dissemination, communication, networking actions, the better exchange between NGOs and grid companies in Europe, for example, with the organization of training workshops for the NGOs on the importance of grid, but also best practice exchange workshop between NGOs and GSOs across Europe. We will also create a SafeLine4Birds open access platform that will centralize all technical information gathered during the project regarding the devices, the equipment, the installation methods, the suppliers, and this will facilitate the dissemination of knowledge across Europe, but also support the replication of actions in other countries. So finally, how to follow the project. We will have a dedicated website online soon, but we already have active social media accounts on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on Facebook. So please do not hesitate to follow us on those platforms if you're interested. We post and communicate quite regularly about the project. We will also organize events such as exchange meetings with interested stakeholders. But as I mentioned before, we will also have one full day workshop between TSOs and NGOs in 2024 that will happen in Brussels. And we will also have seminars and final conference. So we will be very happy for you to participate and to invite you. If you are interested, please let us know. We will send you more information in the coming weeks.